Well, I read somewhere every time you bust, it take a year off your life, and that's why way back in the day, motherfuckers could live to be 600. But now, since there's so much porn and niggas is busting all the time, that's why everybody died at 55.
My nigga Lex said 600.
I feel like they was fucking more back in the day.
Nah, they wasn't fucking. They had too much other
What?
shit to do.
They had hella wives.
And they weren't fucking none of them. They were making it do all sorts of other shit.
Yeah, like
Disappointing would that be to have hella wives and not be fucking? What would you gain? I guess they run your empire or whatever, or your home, or I don't know. But
I feel like you fuck less when you have hella wives, like, because now you got to deal with if you could just have hella wives and fuck them, then that shit would be amazing for guys. But I don't think that that's the case. I think you have.
I feel like that was the case back then, though.
I don't know.
Because if you got hella wives and you do damage on one, the next one's gonna be waiting like, oh, it's my turn, and you gotta do damage on that one. And you ain't gonna be able to make it through hella different wives doing damage. After a while, some of them just gonna get the limp noodle or the fake strokes. That's gonna happen.
Hey,
those strokes is hilarious.
And it only takes that one time where like you fail for that one, and then that always sticks with her. You know what I mean? Because she's coming up on that lineup that time every single time. It ain't like you see like, oh, like tonight, there's a primary who was probably like the initial one, and then it goes from there. So you gotta make sure the primary is good, and then you work from there. But your rawest one is probably the last one, so you definitely want to be fucking on the last one. You stop fucking on the first one. You know what I'm saying? It's a problem. It become an issue. So if you got 5 wives, but you fucking the 5th one, and the first 4 is pissed off, and they not congregated and created like a whole mental warfare against you on how they about to take your ass out and take her out, it's a problem.
And then next, they let the empire in through the sewer, and you're taken over and you're dead.
You feel me? And that's how niggas got taken out back in the day. That's exactly how the empires used to go down. They used to, whoever survived this, who told the story, they lied about that shit. But that's exactly what happened, because you couldn't tell all the greatness. Yeah, you couldn't tell all the greatness that they did beforehand, and then had them taken out by their 4 wives. You know what I'm saying? That's not a good climax.
Yeah, empires came down from salty bitches.
But are they really salty? Because it's not. Yeah, I feel like it's partly the man's fault. You don't have 5 wives if you ain't gonna put damage on all 5. That's a different type of standard.
I think they all had side niggas though. You know what I'm saying? Like, because I'm thinking like medieval times when people had their main wife and they had all these concubines that were like under the wife, and either the wife could have an attitude and be like, oh my God, or she could be like, fuck these little girls, I don't care. Like, I got a couple side niggas, like it's good.
That's real, but that's dangerous though. You know what I mean?
Yeah, see, I was about to say.
You had the top cats, like you had his energy and he had all the power and stuff like that. So if you found out about that, everybody did. So like, bruh, if you want that wife that bad for your life, then that's interesting.
Yeah, see, the side niggas back then, they would do it, but they wouldn't do real damage because they know how dangerous it is. So they can't just be like having the king's wife busting. They got to just give her enough just to get her through to the next day.
But you also got to think they were marrying girls that were like 13 years old, like, because they was all about like childbearing age. So you'd have girls that's like 13 married to like 65-year-old dudes. So I mean, if they not, and they was eating hella red meat, you know what I'm saying? Like no vegetables out here really. So they probably wasn't that. Ugh.
I can't believe this is where the beginning of our pod went.
They used to come in and just had a robe open with a big ass belly.
Hella wine just on their chest.
No draws, just one leaf over the ball. You know what I'm saying? Like trying to be sexy and shit. Got like touching his nipple and shit. And that's what you all gotta walk in on. She
hella hairy, no fresh shower, nothing.
You know what I'm saying? She just got her period and shit. This is her first experience, and this is what she got to look at. That's a cold game, yo.
So by 20, she for surely got side niggas. Because by the time she's 20, he's damn near almost like 75, 80. She for sure got side niggas.
Yeah.
Who is doing damage? Because he not doing damage at that point.
Or she's fucking the son. That's not her son.
That's a good point.
It's possible. Or like the leader of the like the general of the army and shit like that.
Hell, you would pick the most alpha ass nigga and be like, yeah.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like the nigga that gotta go out there and actually fight and he come back in, because that's just enough time, because he be going for months at a time. So when he come back in town, you know what I mean?
Oh yeah, he's doing damage.
Oh, what?
He's
doing hell. Actually, he might be the nigga to be as opposed to the king. When it comes to women, anyway. You gotta fight, but like, yeah.
Oh, for sure. He get the pick of the litter, whatever you want, whenever you want to. You know, he just got to survive battle. You know what I mean? And this story just grows from there. You know, if you ever seen Braveheart, you know, he ended up being, you know, by the time he come back after that 5th war, he 8-9 feet tall, kick over mountains with one toe. You know, they got all kind of stories that you know.
Man. Saying that, imagine what the women's stories are. This nigga's dick 3 feet long. This nigga was fucking me from the whole other side of the castle.
You know what I'm saying? He was on the east side, I was on the west side. Fuck that dick from all the way over there.
What is
this nigga filled up the whole moat with cum.
And then he's traveled too. So that means he's had some like other shit from other parts of the world. So he probably came back with tricks. What?
All the new moves.
What?
You know what
hey, going to war and fucking something on the road is nuts. Like that shit is great. Like as like if you go onto the road to another like dynasty or little kingdom, whatever, and you pull up on them and you get like, you know, they do like the sit down where you gotta have the dinner and it's like hospitality, and you can have what you want and stuff like that. My place is your place while we bust down this business. That is where it's at. Like the road pearl is where it's at, I think. You know what I'm saying? Like after a long trek, because that's probably a few days that you've been just walking to the next spot. Hey.
For the sake of the joke, yes. For the sake of women empowerment, no, because we stuck with y'all babies and shit while y'all just get to go do whatever the fuck you want.
What you mean? They was out there fighting. Like they don't even know the reason why they fighting. They just be out there just fighting. Just stand.
We don't give a fuck.
Yeah, just
all y'all niggas is fighting. We don't know what y'all fighting for. Shit, y'all be raping us. Other people be raping us. We don't know what the fuck going on.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
It was tough for women.
It was a wild time. But luckily, you know, people ain't out here on the you know. All right, I'm gonna get out of this.
But like low-key evolutionary wise, like that's why I believe men are only able to like typically like come one time and like need to be done for a while. Could you imagine if like animals and humans, male species, could have multiple orgasms and it was like common in one? Niggas would be so rapey. Y'all already kind of rapey. And then like, what extra rapey?
Yeah, I mean,
they be rape tactical.
I mean, would they though?
You think it would make them less rapey?
I mean, because I think right now because they're not able to bust enough, then it makes them extra rapey, you know, because they have to wait long periods of time for their next bust. So like that makes them like hella aggressive in the moment. What if they bust, like if they could just bust multiple times, then maybe they'll have less instinct to like be out here and just like need to, like I need to go fuck something. You know what I'm saying?
All I can say right now is I'm cracking up at the fact that Monty gonna have to listen back to this and be like, what the fuck? For 20 minutes.